What is going on, guys, and welcome to Fight Hard Fight Clean. It has been confirmed that Ryan Garcia will face Mario Barrios on February 21st for the WBC Welterweight title. He put out a video signing the contract, so we're going to take a look at it right now.
Boom, here I go. Signed. I'm going to be fighting for the real WBC championship belt against Mario Barrios February 21st. Get ready, because I'm coming. Let's go.
Okay, first off, that's got to be the world's largest signature I've ever seen. He signed the whole paper. Wait, he went up here. That's not the point, all right? The contract has been signed. The fight is happening. Fair play to Ryan Garcia. He lost the fight against Rolly Romero on the Times Square card, and now he's back for a world championship fight. Honestly, way to turn a loss into a W. I want to actually take another look at that fight because he was knocked down in the first round and lost that fight. But I want to see, A, how he got knocked down, but also how he was for the remainder of the fight, because I remember him being very tentative or just very hesitant after that knockdown. He just did not want to throw in fear of getting hit again. All right, so this is the fight. Oh, it wasn't even the first round. It was 10 seconds into round number 2. I did not realize that. Body shot, and then that's the left hook that dropped him. Just did not see it coming, and then he was down. And again, I think for the remainder of the fight, he only reacted when Rolly moved. He became a very counter-puncher style fighter, which is normal because you don't want to get knocked down again, but this ended up losing him the fight. So now looking at the fight with Mario Barrios, what does he have to do to gain the championship? From the fights I've seen of Barrios, Ryan Garcia's #1 path to victory is to stay patient. He's been guilty in the past of thinking the fight's boring and being like, fuck it, I'm gonna just rush this person, and paying the price of it. For example, the fight against Tank Davis, Ryan rushed in, tried to throw a giant combination, then Tank just ducked, hit him with the left hand, and then he went down. And honestly, the same thing kind of happened for when he absorbed the body shot that ended the fight. He kind of rushed in, tried to hit Tank again, then on the way out from the clinch, Tank Davis hit him with the body shot, and then he couldn't get up from it. And Mario Barrios is a counterpuncher. He will stay behind the jab, and as soon as you open up after you think, okay, he's not gonna throw anything, he'll hit you with a counter shot, and yeah, you're down. And you also have to be careful about your position in the ring, because if you're in the corner or on the ropes, Barrios will throw there as well. That's how he knocked down Maidana in the fight. He was on the ropes and then just hit a left hook, right hand, and then Maidana kind of just crumpled on the ground. Not to mention, Barrios is very defensively aware and wise. Again, in the Maidana fight, the same shot that dazed Devin Haney, it was the slow jab, and Ryan Garcia came right over the top of the jab with a left hook. That's Ryan Garcia's biggest weapon, is his left hook. But that's the shot that dazed Devin Haney and was honestly the beginning of the end. Maidana tried to throw the same shot, but Maidana, it wasn't one of those things where Maidana was too slow and then Barrios was able to lift his hand. Barrios' hand was already here, so he was able to just deflect it. So it's going to be an issue for Garcia if he tries to use his #1 weapon on Barrios and his hand is already there to deflect it. Even if Garcia gets Barrios into a position where his legs are jello and he's vulnerable, he kind of makes his offense sloppy. He just swings until something hopefully lands. There was a big moment in the Haney fight yet again where he hit Haney with a left hand, and instead of, being wise and slowing down and looking for another good shot, he kind of just started swinging for the fences and really none of the punches had meaning. It was just swing until hopefully something lands. And even if Barrios is hurt, that can lead to, again, a counter shot that could put Garcia in serious trouble. That's how Anthony Joshua got knocked out against Daniel Dubois. Dubois was hurt, he got sloppy with his offense, and then boom on the chin, he was out in front of a hurt Dubois. He has to stick to his game plan of sharp jab. Let me repeat, sharp jab, because the last time someone threw a lazy jab against Ryan Garcia, didn't go too well. But anyways, if Barrios can stick to that game plan, he'll win on points for sure, because whenever Ryan opens up, he'll be there to counter. And if Ryan Garcia is like, I don't know what to do, I'm just going to try and stand in front of him, that jab is going to win him the fight. That's how he won the fight against Ugas. Mario Barrios dropped Ugas with a jab. And whenever Ugas came forward a bit too much, he landed a left hook that dropped him as well. So if you get too impatient with Barrios, he will counter you. If you get too hesitant with Barrios, he will jab your head off to the end of the fight. With that being said, they're going to have to drill in Garcia's membrane like, hey, dude, you have to stay patient in there, and you have to wait for a meaningful, good shot, or else you're going to end up on the floor. I'm excited to see Ryan Garcia back because, again, I think he's one of my favorite fighters in the professional boxing realm. I know he went on the huge rant of just horrible stuff during the Devin Haney buildup, but I think he's honestly one of the most entertaining fighters to watch in terms of his skill set. Again, the lightning fast left hand, and his speed alone, not just his left hand, his speed alone makes him very cool to watch. With that being said, if Garcia can stay patient, stay composed, and stay disciplined throughout the entirety of the fight, wait for a meaningful shot to open up, that's when he can take real good advantage of the fight and maybe even take the lead or win by TKO. For Barrios, stay true to your game plan. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Just stay behind your jab, counter when you need to, counter especially if Garcia tries to throw a bunch of punches at once, and then you'll either win the fight by decision or by a TKO. Again, I think his ability to stick to a game plan will really shine in this fight, and Garcia's going to have to come up with a game plan of his own because, again, if he goes in there undisciplined and just wanting to hit him, then Barrios is going to jab his head off and counterpunch him to a 12th round decision win. And that's where I'd stop the video because that's my prediction, but I want to talk about the aftermath of this fight. I don't really know Barrios well enough to be like, oh, this could be a good matchup for him because he has this style, or I just don't know enough about the division to really tell you that. But for Ryan Garcia, I can predict one of the next fights Ryan Garcia does is against Conor Benn. Conor Benn, as you saw, had a fucking magnificent performance against Chris Eubank Jr. He outboxed him the entire time. Chris honestly did not look like himself in there, but that doesn't matter. You fight the guy that's in front of you. Conor Benn continuously just outboxed and landed on Chris Eubank Jr. He did it for 11 straight rounds, and then in the 12th round, just to put the icing on the cake, he knocked down Eubank Jr. twice. It was a beautiful temple shot right behind the ear. I think it was Conor McGregor that said, you know, the perfect legal shot right here that just really messes up your legs. Chris Eubank Jr. just went crumpling down. London Bridge is falling down, just straight to the canvas. And then the second one was a bit of a push knockdown where his legs were already done for and he was just trying to survive. One landed, then he kind of face planted again, but he was able to get right back up, and that's why the ref didn't stop it immediately. And after a performance like that, we don't even need a trilogy because after a very close fight that went Eubank Jr.'s way, Conor Benn decimated him in the second one. For me, those questions have been answered. I guess you could say the unfinished business has been settled, right? I'll stop. And Conor Benn mentioned after this whole saga ends, he wants to go back to trying to win a world championship. Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn were not in the same weight class. Conor Benn was fighting a certain way that he just didn't want to because he wasn't in his weight class. Eubank Jr. had to kill himself to get down to that weight. So what's the point of doing a third one? Because it's just going to end up with someone getting severely hurt, which honestly will probably be Chris Eubank Jr. So with that being said, whether Ryan Garcia has the belt or not, I can see Conor Benn being Ryan Garcia's next opponent. If Ryan Garcia has the belt, then cool, it'll be for the WBC Welterweight Championship. If Ryan loses the fight against Mario Barrios, I still think Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn will have a fight. And if Conor Benn beats Ryan Garcia, especially in a dominant fashion, then he'll get the title shot against Barrios. It kind of all fits like a great boxing puzzle. So that's honestly how I see this fighter triangle going, unless it turns into a square and there's another fighter that I'm not sure about, maybe Devin Haney or just somebody from the Ring 4 card. That's how I see this whole three-fighter thing going. In terms of who I think wins between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn, if this video gets 2 whole likes, I will make a video on that. I am beyond excited to see Ryan Garcia back in the ring and to see what he can do against the current WBC welterweight champion, Mario Barrios. And maybe this will be the comeback of Ryan Garcia, because after the PEDs against Devin Haney and the loss against Rolly Romero, he needs some momentum boost to get back in this scene, or as Dashi would say, a momentum boost. So, who do you got? Ryan Garcia or Mario Barrios? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, my friends, fight hard, fight clean, and I'll see you soon.